welcome back to Total Awesome Barbecue. Now today I'm going to be doing a brisket, but not any old brisket. This is going to be a British rolled brisket, which is basically the flat rolled up, and it costs a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a massive point or a full packer or something like that. And it is $16.49 if you've got a club card from Tesco's. If you haven't got a club card, it's $22.42, so always good to have a club card. And I'm going to do this slightly different. I'm going to be putting it on the rotisserie, and as you saw just a minute ago, we're going to be using the snake looker. So we're doing low and slow on a rotisserie, which I haven't done before, and I'm hoping it's going to have better results than I did last time when it was just sitting there whilst doing low and slow with the snake. So I'm hoping that this will keep itself nice and moist and get a nice bark just by going around like that and slowly basting itself as it goes around, going low and slow. Yeah, let's get this out of the package, get it rubbed up, and stick it on like that. Now they're all grey. Yeah, set this snake up. There you go, it's all set up. Let's set it up again with the vortex in the middle to hold my paella pan. Get my pan. This acts like a great heat diffuser. And I'm going to use my rotisserie. And stick that on there as well. Making sure I've got the rotisserie in the right way. So I can put the motor on this side, put the lid on. I've gone for a slight change from SPG. I was in my local garden centre, Long Acres, and I found some Oink and Angus garlic and or garlic butter rub. So I thought I'd give that a go. It's got no spice to it, which my family would be happy about because for some reason they don't like spicy stuff. So I've had to not use SPG as much because even they find that spicy. I know it's ridiculous, but you got to do what your family wants. Well, as you can see, it's got very little fat on it, very little skin. So I'm going to get the spit in. Make sure I lined up the in there like that. And you get the other one on the other side. Penetrate inside much, but it's going to hold it in place. There you go. It's on the spit. Now I just remembered I don't need that grill grate because it's going on a rotisserie. So I'm going to take that grill grate off. That's burning my fingers. I've got my motor. It's going to go on the side here. Get this put in. Right, fill this up with some water. Test the rotisserie. Make sure it's going round nicely. Now you're probably wondering, when's he going to put the rub on? Now I'm not using any binders or anything, so I'm going to be just putting it straight on as it goes round. So much easier than getting your hands dirty. Yeah. And you can get the sides and everything without having to touch the meat. Just a little hack. I don't really use binders a lot, mainly because I can't be bothered. There you go, all rubbed up. And stick the lid on. As you can see, it's coming up to 200 now. So I'm going to close these vents now because I've noticed in the past when I was top tip temp, I'll get to 250, it then goes over 250. So now I'm going to close these up. And now that should, hopefully, as in the past, it's never really failed. It should keep it around about 200, between 200 and 250. Right, we're 2 hours in, it's gone up to 138, so that has now closed itself again. And once it goes down, it will open up again and let some more airflow. Let's have a quick look at inside. Whoa, look at that. That's looking lovely. We'll just keep that going until it hits 96 degrees Celsius. Quick look at it. Whoa, look at that. That's looking lovely, that is. Lovely jubbly. Let's keep that on. It is going nice and slow. The temperature keeps going up and down a bit, but what I'm going to do now is to lock in that moisture. I'm going to now wrap it up in some butcher paper and then stick it on the grill grate and carry it on that way. It's coming out nicely. Yeah, look at that. Take that out. So. Smells lovely. I'll slip this on. Put it on there like that. And stick the lid on. Right, so an update. The snake was losing its temperature. It was probably because the coals were just not catching on one part of the snake. And it just started dying down, and there was no way, even with the vents fully open, it was not catching and the temperature going up. So I'm finishing it in the oven. I've got it at 120 degrees, and then that'll keep that going until we get to 96 degrees, and then we'll let it rest, and then cut it down the middle, and I'll give you that shot. Hopefully there's lots of, when I push down it, there's some moisture coming out of it. But yeah, it's a bit like the pellet smoker really. It's a consistent heat, but with the pellet smoker you don't get as much smoke as you do with the Weber. I mean, I've even seen the likes of Chud's barbecue do the same thing, but starting something on his smoker, even his big offset smoker, and then finish it in the oven. So there's no harm in doing that. It's still been smoked and it's still barbecued, just finishing it off in the oven. Whereas when you start things in the oven and then put it in the barbecue afterwards, that's kind of counterproductive, because you've already sealed the meat and there's no smoky flavour going inside that meat. I've heard lots of people when I've gone to barbecues, they've said, "Oh, I'm going to put the chicken in the oven first." No. Put it in the barbecue. But this way, it's had that smoky flavour, and now we're just finishing it off in the oven. And once it's ready, I'll let you have a look at it. Right, here it is. Let's open this up and slice it down the middle. Right. Ooh. Look at that. That certainly started rendering. Get some of that fat left over. Not much fat, so, but that's a good sign, because it may just mean it's actually stayed in the meat. Right, let's get this cut open. Ooh, oh yeah, look at that. It's definitely had got a smoke ring on there. Get this string off. Let's just go for the taste test. Now I'm no illusions. This is never going to be like any kind of brisket you get at a butcher, because it's the flat, it's been rolled up, and it's just not going to be like Texas barbecue. Right, let's have a taste test. Right, here we go. Will it pull apart? It's a bit tough. Try it. It's not perfect. It's not like a Texas style barbecue brisket, but the flavour's there. It's got that smoky taste. I mean, if you was going to have, we're having this for a roast, so we're going to have some gravy on this, but even with gravy, you're still going to get that smoky taste. I mean, it's not like an old shoe leather or anything like that. It's still, you still can chew it, and you're not chewing for ages. Yeah, I mean, that's a result. It was never going to be like a proper brisket. It's okay, it's not great, but it was cheap. And being that in the UK they get a flat, they roll it up, and then they take most of the fat cap off and all that sort of thing, it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, we've got it as far as we can. So it's edible, it's smoky. We're going to go and put it in with our roast dinner with our potatoes and veg. And yeah, so if you like this video, please give it a like, consider subscribing, because I do quite a lot of these videos, and hit that notification bell and I'll let you know when I upload my next video. And I'll see you next time. Stop drinking this. Bye bye.